So here you are, watching this video because you've hit that critical make or break point in your relationship. You are having a marriage crisis. And listen, this is nothing to be ashamed of, really. You should actually be proud for realizing that you've hit the wall of married life, and it's either breakthrough or, you both go your separate ways. Right now, the fight or flight instinct to run from the situation or stay and fight, it's kicked in. And by watching this, you're showing that you're really in it for the long haul. So here I'll be helping you take on that fight and win your relationship back to a state of good health. And it all starts with the 7 simple steps for tackling your marriage crisis. So here's a quick overview of how you'll organize your approach to restoring your relationship. We're going to go through these steps one at a time to get things moving again. And the first is recognizing there's a problem. Next, awareness that you're both individuals with valid viewpoints. Then you recognize the good points in each other. Remember what brought you together. Get back to basics. Outline your action plan. And then the 3 steps to success. So let's talk about initially, there's a problem. And you're here watching this, so you have the wherewithal to know things are off center in your relationship. Believe it or not, this act alone will help you reform the balance between you and your spouse. A lot of times you can become so immersed in the day-to-day routine that marital problems become really gradual in nature. And if you're experiencing a true crisis by definition, it's possible your problem is abrupt and pretty startling. You may feel completely overwhelmed and not even know where to begin addressing the issue at hand. The most important thing to do at this point is try to calm your initial nerves. You want to take a few deep breaths and congratulate yourself for accessing appropriate help. Grab a glass of water because we're going to be here a little bit. Next, you're both right. And I know that's hard to sort of wrap your head around sometimes. It's absolutely natural to feel that you're the one in the right when you're arguing with your partner. Now, obviously, this isn't true. You're both right. You have valid viewpoints. And it's important to recognize this. And you've read how your background, including your childhood, your upbringing, it can affect your inner thoughts and beliefs. But they also make you feel right and justified with your thoughts and feelings. And accepting that your partner is also right in many things because they're coming from their personal viewpoint, that's very important. I want you to take a piece of paper and fold it in half. And on one side, write your name. And on the other side, write your partner's name. So take just a moment here to reflect. Now, what are the good qualities that you both have? Think deeply and just forget any criticism right now. I want you to concentrate on everything positive. Here's some words to help you brainstorm. Choose what's relevant. They have a good sense of humor. They're kind-hearted. They're thoughtful. They're generous. Well-organized. A timekeeper. Loyal. Confident. Faithful. Mature. Charitable. This list is not exhaustive by any means. And I'm sure you can think of many others that apply to you or your partner. Think about what brought you together. You are having a marriage crisis, yes, but think back to what brought you together in the first place. And as you wrote the list of qualities for yourself or your partner, how much, did you really have to dig to find them? When were you writing them out? When you were writing them out, did you think back to when you met and those early dates, or maybe pre-children? On the back of the piece of paper or on a separate sheet, write down as much as you can to remember about when you met, where you met, and the typical things you did as your relationship grew. The good old days. And this is important, and it's vital to tackling your marriage crisis. Think about what's really changed. And this person you loved is still the person that you met all those years ago. And the annoying troubles, yes, they've crept in. In the day-to-day, the grind of everything, life can wear you down after a while. Changing diapers, it may not feel so romantic. Having the bills to pay every month when money is already stretched, further than possible. It's not fun, but it's only rational that your stress has risen. You need to get back to the basics. You want to set a date and have a date. Your date doesn't even have to mean leaving the house. A date is a chance for both of you to just listen to each other and enjoy each other's company. Rent a funny movie, order takeout. It doesn't need to be grand. It doesn't need to be like a grandiose event. Just, have a chance to relax and unwind together and take a step back from recent events, get back to the fundamental basics of you both as a couple. Or whatever it is that's led the marriage crisis to this point, it cannot be tackled as a whole. You need to practice listening and laughing together on this date and take these small steps. They're going to help you better communicate and ultimately no longer feel, that your worlds have separated like this. And you're going to need an action plan. You're going to have to formulate an action plan. What has brought things to this stage, and how did you get from the occasional annoyance feeling to this, I need to leave, or, I need to escape or change, or, just a complete discomfort with this situation. You want to keep the plan simple, and it's to pull you back from this danger point in your relationship. You want to go get another piece of paper and title the top of your piece of paper, My Action Plan. Somehow writing it down rather than just thinking it in your own head, it makes it real and now. So using the suggestions above, formulate how to weave these strategies into your life. Schedule your date night on a calendar and make it a recurring event. And decide that you're going to study communication skills with or without your spouse so you can move more peacefully into resolving conflicts. You want to speak with your partner about marriage therapy, and if they don't want to go, make the effort to go on your own. Schedule an appointment and follow through. In other videos on the site, I detail numerous action plans that are much more paint-by-numbers instruction. However, depending on the severity and circumstance of your crisis, you may want to access the shortest path to intervention. Couples therapy is generally the speediest route for this. But that said, you should still engage in all the exercises recommended here, as they'll all steer your relationship towards a happy, more fulfilling outcome. Now it's time to formulate your 3 steps. You're going to be taking the time to communicate through your marriage crisis, and it involves 3 basic variables. So you should memorize these or write these out also. They are event, action, and outcome. And underneath your event, you want to write down the setting for your planned date. And you want to keep it simple. It doesn't need to be rose petals, on the pillow, or a 3-course meal. The next subject is action. And this may take more thought. Make a list of key topics you'd like to talk about during your date and write as many as come to your mind. Whatever's led you to feel that you're suffering at this point, maybe you want to ease into those types of topics. And this might be difficult, but circle one thing. And during this date, concentrate on talking and listening at some point about this problem. And taking small steps is the way to communicate better and successfully. For outcome, focus on the word or sentence you've circled. And what would you like to happen right after you've discussed this? And be realistic with yourself. Remind yourself you will both feel right or justified to feel the way you do. And it's not about winning or losing, but moving forward and breaking through the current wall. This is really just the beginning. Be sure to watch my free video at mindyourmarriage.com right now for the real step-by-step, paint-by-numbers blueprint that I've created on how to restore your marriage and rekindle the passion in your relationship, really starting in just minutes. So check it out right now, mindyourmarriage.com. I'll see you there. Take care. Bye.